everyone, my name's Christy. Welcome to my corner. Thank you for joining me today on this Flosstube Friday for Flosstube number 68. I'm not sure that I have a ton to talk about. I am back in the classroom again, and I have not been in the classroom since spring break of 2020 when we left for spring break, and that Thursday we were told not to come back, and I have not gone back. I've been teaching fully online for almost 2 years now, so it has taken a lot of my mental energy to get back into the classroom, but I'll talk about all of that at the end. I did get some stuff done though. I have a fully finished object, which I'm very excited about. I have a finished object, both of which are weaving. I have a new start, which is cross stitch, which is also a new pattern release, also cross stitch. And I have a whip. Oh, and I have some happy mail. So there is stuff to talk about. I don't think it's going to be very long, and it's going to be minimal editing because I kind of want to just decompress. It's been a week. It's been a good week, but it's been a week. Before we get to any of that stuff, I want to welcome my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me on my crafty and artistic adventures, and welcome back to everyone who has been hanging out with me for however long you've been with me. It's been great to get to know you in the comments here on YouTube and also on Instagram. And if you're not following me on Instagram, you can find me at Dr_Christy, and I'll put that right here. And that's where I post pictures of my stitching and my weaving and my daily life and my dog. And lately I've been doing an outfit of the day whenever I go into the office. I go into the office Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I've been posting an outfit of the day. So if you're interested in seeing my ridiculous outfits, they're just going to kind of get more and more ridiculous. You should check me out at Dr_Christy because I'm a little bit ridiculous. You can also find me at the Spoolery, which is my Instagram page that is dedicated to my vintage wooden spool collection and my new business that I am not putting a ton of time into right now just because like my actual real job is taking up quite a bit of time. But that will hopefully get back in the swing of things soon because the festival that I want to do, anyway, the festival that I want to participate in, the reason why I'm doing this is for an arts festival later on in May. That's just been announced, yada, yada, yada. You can find me at the Spoolery. This is like the longest intro for my Instagram page ever, my Instagram accounts ever. Follow me on Instagram if you want to see what I'm doing during the week. To make a long story even longer, do that. This is a channel about embroidery and cross stitch and other textile crafts and baking and history and the history of all of those things. So if any of that is interesting to you and you're not subscribed, I'd love to have you subscribe and stick around. Whew, that took way longer than normal. I would like to start with my happy mail. One of my pieces of happy mail I do not have with me. I left it in my living room, but I got some floss drops from Shelly. And I will put a picture of them here. I will take a picture, and it is of her Sphinx cat. And so adorable. And I feel slightly guilty that I sent her terrifying, creepy baby cards. She seems super excited, so I'm not going to worry about it. But she sent me an adorable kitty. I sent her a terrifying Victorian child. You know, it's even. It's even. So thank you, Shelly, for those. I will use them on my HAED when I kind of expand my colors. That's where all of my floss drops that I'm getting are going. I also got a beautiful package from my friend Francine, and I haven't opened it yet, so I'm going to open it with you. But look at this bag, this purse. I'm pretty sure that she made this paper purse. It's amazing. It's absolutely beautiful, and I didn't want to crack into it until you all saw it. But look at that. So we're going to open it up together, and I'm just going to show you what's inside it. And I have the sniffles because it's really cold outside. I don't have a cold. I just have the sniffles. So we have this little package with a magnet, I think. Yeah, it has a magnet. It has nail file. I do love a nail file. Look at that. What a useful little package. And I might, I don't know, I want to reuse this for something. But that with an emery board, beautiful. Ooh, and floss drops. Speaking of the devil, some beautiful floss drops. I think these are hydrangeas. I'm pretty sure these are hydrangeas. Ooh, a bookmark. You know, I do love a bookmark. Oh, it's beautiful. And it's laminated. Caught. Oh, we're caught. Ooh, a notebook and pen. could go in my purse. This is amazing. This is literally one of the most amazing gifts I've ever received in my entire life. I think that she made all of this. Ooh, and a tiny little notebook. Look at that. Oh, it's so beautiful. There's a larger package too. Oh, and a card. I did not read the card. Hold on one second. I have a card that I'm going to open up and read and show you. So this is the card. How beautiful is this card? I think paper crafters are so creative. I watch a couple of paper crafters on YouTube and they're lovely. Look at this. And she wrote me a lovely note. Thank you, Francine. I appreciate you very much. And I appreciate when you help me out with my French. She's French Canadian, and I appreciate when you show me your medieval embroideries. It's wonderful. It's been wonderful getting to know you. So thank you so much for this. I appreciate it very much. And a little package. How beautiful are these? Wait, Francine, did you make these? Oh my goodness, look at these dish towels. These are wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. They match they're my color scheme. Oh my goodness, I can't even. Francine, thank you so much. This is the most amazing gift. I don't even know what to say. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you very much as well. And I will treasure these for reals. So thank you so much. So on that happy note, let's talk about my fully finished object. I mounted my textile and framed it. So this is mounted on a board and framed in a frame that I already had. I don't know that I love the black frame with this kind of motif, but it's the one that I had, and I'm trying not to spend so much money. And in fact, my no buy February starts tomorrow. It actually kind of starts now. I'm already not buying anything today. And that's why this is in a black frame, because that's what I had. It is just kind of put in the back, and I probably won't cover it with paper. Normally I would cover it with paper because I kind of want that covered up, but I don't know that I'm going to keep it in this frame forever. So, but it's framed and I'm going to put it on my wall in my office. And I did actually record a tutorial of me mounting this, not of me framing it, but of me mounting this. So that'll be put out on Tuesday. So if you're interested in knowing how you can mount textiles, like any textile, onto a board, I will show you how to do that. And the nice thing about this kind of finish is that you can take it off if you ever want to. So this is actually stitched in there. It's not glued in any way. It's just stitched at the top and the bottom. But you can mount, like if you have a cross stitch that doesn't have quite enough border to like frame it by itself, you can attach it in this way. If you have like a beautiful, I don't know, scarf or Victorian lace textile, or not Victorian, but any lace textile that you love, or baby clothes, I don't know, you can basically mount any textile this way. So I recorded it, I will edit it, and it'll be up on Tuesday. So that'll be my Tuesday video, but this is my fully finished object. I love it. This is in a 14 by 11 by 14 frame. And obviously I took the glass out. So this is gonna go in my office. And then my finished object, I posted on Instagram. It's still on the loom, but it is my landscape. I haven't woven in the ends yet, but I love it. I'm so pleased with it. I'm really pleased with it. So this is the landscape that I had planned. It is a sunset or a sunrise. Do they look different? I feel like they don't look different. So a sunset or a sunrise. I used a lot of yarns that my friend Valerie sent me. So this green right here, this light green, that's actually a very light green, and then the white in the sun are all from Valerie, and I love them. This green I've had for ages, and in fact I had already cut it because I used it last year when I did a year and a half ago now almost, when I did a tutorial on my tiny pom-pom hats. I made like a giant pom-pom hat just to see if I could, and I made it out of this. And so I already had them cut, so I just used it as my fringe. The back is a mess. I have to weave in all those ends. And you know, I learned a lot from this. I learned things that I like doing with weaving, and I learned things that I don't like doing with weaving. I've been exploring a lot of weavers on Instagram and seeing the things that I like and the things that I don't like. So I definitely would do this sort of gradation in a slightly different way next time to avoid all of this. But overall, I really like the effect. I'll weave in all the ends and it'll look great. And it'll look fantastic on my wall. It's gonna go on a spool. Like this guy. Like a big bobbin spool. So I have that. Those are my weavings, and that is my finished object. That is not fully finished yet. And then I have my stitching. So let me pull out my stitching. Let's talk about my new start and my pattern release. I'm keeping it in my Pride and Prejudice bag, and this bag is from Out of Print. It's a company called Out of Print, and I have a t-shirt with this on it too. And it is my Fangs Out piece. And this is in commemoration of the 5th anniversary of the Women's March on Washington on January 21st, 2017. This is where I am, and I started it, you know, on this, so this week, so it was nothing before. And it is based on a print by artist Haley Gilmore, who's a local artist. I talked about her last week, so if you're interested in hearing more about her and more about this piece, you can find that up here. But this piece is now released on my Etsy shop. So as a 5-year commemoration of the Women's March on Washington, and as a recognition that we have to keep marching because rights don't fight for themselves. Monday was the Martin Luther King Jr.'s holiday. And one of the things that he says, and I'm going to get the quote wrong, but one of the things that he says is that the arc of history bends towards justice. I'll put the actual quote up here. But the thing to remember is that the arc doesn't bend on its own. We have to move that arc towards justice. And one of the ways that we do that is by protesting. And we live in a country that allows protesting, or where it is not just allows it, but protesting is an inalienable right. So we need to remember that we are allowed to protest. That is our job as American citizens, to protest when we don't agree with something. And I get very angry with people who say, if you don't like it, you should leave. Because if I don't like something, I change it. So chin up, fangs out, my friends. Hashtag still marching Sal on Instagram. But this is up in my Etsy shop, and you can find that link down below. And I'm about 30% done. About 30% done. I love it. It's actually a really fun stitch. It's 6 colors, and it makes me very happy. So that is my new start and my commemoration of the Women's March and my protest piece. And the Still Marching Sal hashtag is available for any protest piece. There are a lot of really great protest pieces out there, really great feminist pieces out there, and they all work with the hashtag Still Marching Sal. So that is my new start. My second piece that I worked on briefly, because I mostly focused on weaving, fangs out, and getting back in the swing of things with my job. But I did do some stitching on my drink shelf. So when last time you saw it, it looked like this. And I had been recording the highs and the lows, and I hated it. So I'm pretty sure that was last week. Oh my God. Anyway, I have since changed it so that the drinks, the glasses are all in the gray, number 01. And the drinks themselves are the high temperatures. So I'm obviously behind, but I do have a few extra glasses, and I really love how it's turned out. This is on a 14 count navy Aida that I got at Joann's. Oh, and the Fangs Out is charted in DMC and is on a, I think it's an 18 count. It's on an 18 count mystery Aida that I think I got from my friend Jennifer. she sent me kind of a pile of cross-stitch fabric. I wanted to start that, sorry, we're going back to that. I wanted to start that on a linen. There was like the perfect linen, but I didn't feel comfortable starting I've never stitched on linen before. So it would have been my first time stitching on linen, doing a piece I was trying to kind of get through kind of quickly, and I thought that would be a bad idea. So I chose sort of a mystery aid instead. Anyway, back to this. So this is my drinks shelf, and this is what it will look like when it's done. And this is a temperature pattern for 2022 that I designed, and you can find this also in my Etsy shop. And it is in the called for DMC, which is in this bag. The final thing that I brought with me, but I'm not actually sure that I've stitched on it since the last time I saw you, is my wedding sampler, which is the River here by Modern Folk Embroidery. This was in the Resolution stitching box from Black Needle Society. And I'm stitching it in a DeVere Yarns silk in Old Gold, 72 weight, 3 strands over 2. It's a 12 strand silk. And I'm stitching it on a 16 count Aida that I have printed with a pattern from a lace that I got for my wedding. And if I did anything, all I did was just do this second inner line. So I'm not sure that I have worked on this since last time I saw you, but I wasn't sure, so I thought I'd show you anyway. So those are my whips, and that's all I have. I don't have any stitching haul. I do have some weaving haul, but it's yarn. It's just kind of tapestry wool. So I got it off of eBay. So I don't know that anyone needs to see that. It's just kind of earthy colors. You'll see it when I weave with it. And as I said, I am planning on doing a no by February, and that is starting essentially now, starting this weekend. So I will be getting a Black Needle Society box that has shipped, and then I will be getting some fun things in the mail, although I think that they're all weaving stuff, so I don't know if anyone's interested in seeing my weaving stuff that I've got. A lot of it's from Etsy and eBay. So there won't be a lot of haul for the next month and a half. I hope that that's okay with everyone. Well, I mean, it's good for me, so if it's good for me, then I'm sure that you're fine with it. I did have a question ages and ages ago that I kept forgetting to talk about. Someone asked what this egg was, so I'm going to show you my egg. I don't think I've talked about this egg before. I feel like I have meant to talk about this egg, but I don't know that I've ever actually showed it. So it is actually an egg. It's an egg it's like a blown egg, so you make a hole in the top and in the bottom. Although I don't see a hole in the bottom, but you make a hole and you suck out the inside of the egg, and then you paint the egg. And I got this in 1988. I got this because this is a gift from the woman who painted it. And my grandparents owned a winery. They have a farm in central Pennsylvania, and they had a winery on that farm. And they did a lot of activities. They had bands come out and play. They had different community activities there, and they had an arts festival one year in 1988. And I was in charge of selling hoagies, so subs, sandwiches, and sodas to the people. I was in charge of like selling the food. I was the vendor, the food vendor for this event at the age of like 8. And of course, I chat with everybody, right? Like, I am a talker. I have always been an extrovert. And so I ran around. I was like talking to everybody. And I bought some little tiny things. I bought like painted rocks for my brother with Garfield on it. Because he's like, no, did he get Garfield or did he get The Simpsons? I don't remember. It was either Garfield or The Simpsons. Were The Simpsons even around then? I don't even know. Maybe it wasn't 88. Maybe it was a little bit later. Anyway, one of the ladies made these eggs, and she gave that to me for helping her out. So that's where that egg comes from. It comes from my childhood, and I've just kind of kept it. It's weird the things that you keep, right? It's weird the things that stay with you for over 30 years, almost 35 years now. So that's the egg. Let's talk, I'll give you an update on my teaching. It's going to be pretty short because it went quite well, I think. I was super awkward. Wow. I am not awkward. I'm just not, right? Like I am an extrovert. I love social gatherings. I am really good at social things. I meet new people. I go into unusual situations. Like and I'm good at my job, right? I'm a good instructor. I'm a good teacher. And so I walked in and I was awkward. And I even told my students, I'm like, look, I am so happy to be back in the classroom, but I have not been in the classroom in almost 2 years. So I hope you will give me some grace if the timings are off, if I'm a little bit weird, you know, because we're still dealing with a pandemic. We're all masked. We're all super far apart. We have a fan blowing because like we have a fan with a filter on it blowing just to kind of try and clean the air in some way. And so it's all just so weird. And one of my students is already quarantined. He wasn't even in. So he's on Zoom, right? So he's Zooming in. We hear him in the background. And I have to like repeat what everyone says because he can hear me, but he can't hear his classmates. And so we're having a discussion and I'm asking questions. And so, you know, and he's sick, so he feels like crap. Anyway, but with all that being said, God, it was nice to be with students again. The thing is that I actually really like my students, right? Like the fun part of teaching is teaching students. The shit part of teaching is the lesson planning and the grading. And when you're teaching online, all you're doing is lesson planning and grading. So I think it went really well. I have some COVID tests that my mom gave me, so I'm going to swab myself on Mondays just to make sure I'm not sick. I feel okay. But, you know, you never know. I didn't spend much time in there, and my office hours are virtual. But anyway, it went well. It went well. And I'm glad that I have one class in person. I have like 4 online. So it's not like I'm not getting a break. But I'm glad I have only one class in person. I had 2 at first. And I was so anxious about being on campus 4 days a week. So I'm glad that one got moved online. And yeah, it's just so energizing. Like being with students is so energizing. And I've really missed that. So anyway, thank you all for your well wishes. I got so many good wishes on in the comments here and also on Instagram. It's like the beginning of my videos. But I did, and I appreciate that so much. I've had a bunch of people reach out to me to see how my week went, and that's kind of why there's not going to be a ton of editing on this, because I do want to decompress. I've been really anxious. I was careful. And the class is very small. There are only 5 students in this class, so it's a very small class. And yeah, so thanks. Thanks for reaching out and for thinking of me and for caring about me enough to check in and see how it went. Because I'm pleased. Now I just need to get everyone to wear masks and get vaccinated, so that way I can teach more in-person classes. Let's get it together, people. Let's get our stuff together so we don't have to deal with this anymore. Well, my friends, I think that is it from me. I've stopped talking about plans just because I never do them. I have my planner right here. I left it here all week. So you can see how much planning I'm doing. So I'm not going to talk about plans with you. I'm just going to do whatever I want to do. I'm going to do what makes me feel happy and what brings me joy. And then I'll show you next week what those things are. So keep an eye out on Tuesday for that how to mount fabric onto a board. So you can frame it even if it's too small for an actual frame, or if it's something that you want to see the edges of. I'll have that up on Tuesday. And then I will see you on Friday for my next Flosstube, next Friday. Yeah. So have a good weekend. Thanks for joining me. Please take good care of yourselves and have a good one. Bye.